Family, this Alvin.
What's up? This is Michelle. So we come tonight because we needed to update a video. So this one won't be too long. I know last time we talked about our relationship and how we started dating, talking, getting to know one another, all of that good stuff. But what we forgot to say was when we started talking, it was actually somebody that had prophesied to me saying that my husband would find me working in our ministry. And we know from the last video, Alvin found me at a shut-in praying. So that came true. And then the next time we were prophesied that we would not be dating long and that we would get married fast. And that happened too. But as we started talking, I think the once we introduced my kids kind of knew Alvin already because we went to the same church. They just kind of knew of him. But what I liked about it is that when I finally did tell them, and they got to know him, and then he has two sons. In case everybody didn't know that, he has two, and I have three. Together we have five. Okay, anyway. So when they started getting to know him, what I think I admired the most is because of his vision, what they didn't understand, they asked him questions. You
True.
appreciated that, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, because I think that people, instead of them asking questions, they assume or they begin to develop an idea of what they think something is. But like the best thing to do in those situations would probably be, I guess you can tell, how would you prefer somebody to ask you?
The best way um is to ask me whatever question is, no matter long as it's not too personal. Ask me the question. I would rather you ask me than you guess what would be correct for me, and that's just only for me because everyone has their opinion of how they want to be treated or handled or how they want to do something. So I would rather you say, "Hey, I see you like a lot of blue. Is that your favorite color? My favorite color might be orange. I just might wear blue a lot."
Yeah.
So
And I think that that's probably what we learn it. And I think like as we continue to talk, we can talk about like myths and pet peeves and stuff that people are not 100% sure of as far as to when it comes to dealing with someone that may be vision impaired, whether it be 100% blind or slightly vision impaired. But I think that I have learned a great deal of information myself. Definitely have become more compassionate. I think is like one of the main things because people you just really see the hearts of people, even if it's from someone that's doing good, and then someone that's just downright ignorant. Like I've learned so much, and I think Alvin has taught me a great deal, especially when it comes to your faith and believing God. I think that he's given me a brand new outlook on that. And y'all excuse our appearance. We just wanted to talk to y'all, but we know we looking rough today. Because y'all know my husband's swag stay on 11.5. But we just wanted to talk tonight. And then I think that, like I said, we'll take questions too. But one thing we're going to do tonight is that we kind of, he don't know I'm going to do this, but we'll do this sometimes. When I say go, and we'll end our video, we'll probably do maybe two of these and we'll be done. But when I say go, we will say,
you want me to freestyle?
no, like when we say the one word that you think is important for our relationship.
Okay.
That help, okay? So 1, 2, 3, communication.
Trust.
Why do you say trust?
I say trust. Now trust would be on my end because I can with Michelle being my eyes, I can't second guess anything she does. By me second guessing it, it would be me like saying, I don't trust her to. I don't in a form. I don't trust following her, and I don't think she would lead me the right way. She walk me into a hole in the road, or she gonna slam me into the wall, or things like that. And I don't trust like different things that you might think of, like just like if she gave me a glass of water, I'd be like, well, I'm kind of skeptical on drinking this because I don't know if she done washed the glass out, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she done gave to me. But so that's why I say it got to be trust on my end.
Okay. And then my word was communication. And I think communication is important in any relationship, especially in a marriage. But how communication works for Alvin and I will try to record us doing certain things where communication is like a big deal. But like something as small as, like he said, if we're leading, if I'm walking somewhere, and we've had a few, let's just say, hiccups trying to learn that communication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I say, we walking, we get ready to go down the curb or something, and I say step. Well, if I say step too late, then
She laughing because it's just happened. It just happened the other day. She said step, and this the thing. If she's stepping off the curb, she's supposed to step first. She said step, made me step first, and I almost broke my ankle.
yeah.
My ankle is still healing.
But the reason why I say that because that is so true. Like I have learned something as small as how somebody might say something to you and they might say, you want some ice cream? And we'd be like, you shake your head, yeah. I have learned that I have to use my words. I cannot, if he asks me a question, I can't nod and say yeah or shake my head. No, I actually have to use my words. But here's the thing, I can see him shaking his head yes and no. But to be fair, I'd be like, use your words. I gotta use my words. That's how it'll keep me to keep using mine. So
True.
yeah, so communication is definitely huge for us. Even if as far as like going into like a movie theater, being able to say, okay, you got about 6 steps and then we'll be right here. Or come to my left side, or if we getting out the car, you park in a parking space, come to the back of the car, come to the front of the car, like things like that. Like if he wants to open my door for me, he'll open my door and I have to say I'm in, so he'll close the door, and then because he's definitely a gentleman, so he'll say, he'll say, "Are you in?" or something like that. So communication, just to be able to talk and talk about your feelings and things like that, are huge. But for us, communication means a lot because it's how we maneuver, and it has taught us a lot. So you want to do another word?
Another word. Yes, we can. But
Okay.
let me just add this
Okay.
this in real quick, and I ain't gonna hold y'all on. Now the hiccups we were talking about. Now the one key thing to that is that neither one of us can't be too serious about it. Like
Yes.
with all those things, like we can have the biggest laugh about it. Like you can't take yourself too serious in the situation because both of us learning, and like I know like she wouldn't try and break my ankle on purpose.
Right,
Like
babe. We
it's
know that. Yeah.
it's all a learning thing. So in the end, both of us like cracking up as loud as it can, and people like staring at us like, what they laughing at? Like
Right.
he almost fell on the line.
But the fact that I think both of us keep it humorous is how, we learn. At first I would be like, so yeah, I was so nervous. Oh my God. I was so nervous about anything. Like I was saying, well, what happened, if we go on a date and then what I'm supposed to do then? But then he was nervous because since his vision impairment, he never had to deal with somebody other than like family typically doing that. So he had to teach me, so we learned together, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think that I was so nervous that I wasn't gonna lead him right. I wasn't gonna do something right. And I think after our like one of our first dates, and I felt so bad, yeah, because I think I probably like bumped into like maybe two different things or something. And I didn't know, I wasn't thinking to pick seats that were closer. Just like a lot of the things that I think about now, our whole book bag method. We'll talk about that later. But all of those things that I have learned, what works over the time. Like at first, I was like clueless, so I was learning. And we had went out on our first date, and we got home, and like he said, we was cracking up laughing at the mistakes that we made. And I think I said, now, Cooley, I said, now, for me never having to do this before, I know I at least gotta see.
Right.
You think I probably gotta?
That first date, like, I had to apologize to people so much because the table was kind of tight, and she kept on turning me, and like when she turned me, she'd do like a sharp turn. So I had punch dude in the head, like my fault dog. Then I turned one way, then I accidentally, I think I kind of like got it with an open hand. One of the waitresses, and then the thing about it is, like, if you saw me, like, you wouldn't know that I had a vision problem. Right. So they think I'm doing all this on purpose.
Right? Like, and they straight get an attitude. Right. That's why I said people they don't know. But my second word was gonna be compassion, because so many people lack compassion. Like, I shouldn't have to put a sign on my husband's shirt to say, "Oh, we're sorry, he's vision impaired." Right. Like, where is your heart that somebody accidentally bumped into you? And he will say, "Excuse me." He done said, "Excuse me" to stuff, but baby, that's such and such. You ain't gotta say excuse me to that. But he will say it because he wants to make sure he's not bumping into something. But like, people are so, oh my God, they like, watch it. And it's just like, I be want to say, excuse me, but I don't ever make a scene about it. I will just say, excuse me, and keep going, because one thing that we both have decided is that we were not going to use his vision impairment as an excuse for anything. So if we bump into somebody, we just say, excuse me, as though the vision impairment don't even exist. It's just excuse me, because we don't want to put it in a box and put a label on it. Like I always tell them, people say, or people with any type of minor setbacks, had a caregiver. And that's one thing that we just do not use. I'll tell him in a minute. No, we don't use. I'm not a caregiver. I'm your wife. Big difference. I do the things I do for you because I love you and because I'm your wife, not because I'm a caregiver. Like, that's lame. So, you knew that. But it's just like those things like that. So my word would be like, we need to be more compassionate, like as a human race in general. When you bump into somebody, if you go into, but I've seen it on both sides, because there's been people that they'll see us. We got our system figured out. Like, we still learning, but baby, we got this system figured out. What you think?
I think it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. We done figured it out, huh? Uh-huh. But so we'll go somewhere and we'll get to the restroom like we normally do. If it's, if he has to go to the restroom, I gotta go. Like, he'll go, and then I go and try to like time it to where I'm coming out right in time. But it's been people to where they'll say, "Hey, excuse me, ma'am, would you like me to go in there with him?" Things like that, and I'm like, "No, he got it," or whatever the case may be. But just the fact that you are offering. My suggestion would be to be more compassionate. You may not be able to visibly see that somebody may have a minor setback, or they may have something that you can see, but you should be compassionate to people regardless, because you don't know what somebody is facing. It may not be visible on the outside, but what about somebody that's walking around with a broken heart, or they just lost a spouse, or they're facing different adversities in their home that are not visible. Have compassion for people. Have compassion for mankind. Let everything you do be done in love. What's your other word?
What's my other word?
Yeah.
I don't know. You kind of broke out with compassion. My other word.
Let me put you some Aquaphor on there too. Still cute though.
I think I'm gonna branch off your word, compassionate. Now, with compassionate, that's still treat the people the same. it's not that you have to go to them. Whatever that set my back may be, you don't have to tell them you sorry. It's not like
Yeah, that's
it's
good.
not like you was the one who poked my eyes out. You still have you still
Right.
had the same conversation you would have with me.
Yes.
You
Don't treat me like
like
it's
you don't
something wrong.
every time you see me you don't have to say you feeling all right, and you ask me about the J's that just came out,
Right.
or
Please
like
ask him about the J's, baby, because
or
he knows.
or telling me that's a nice polo you got on, like I want to have the same
Don't make it
conversation,
awkward.
like the conversation I had 10 years ago. That was the same conversation. I'm the same dude. Something might be a little different about me, but I still the swag still there. But that's all I had to say about that.
That
When
is true. And I wasn't even going to talk about that, but like, stop making it awkward. And then, okay, I'm not going to see some of these conversations I want to wait to have for later, but I'm going to just say this since we right here about compassion and not making it awkward. Just because he doesn't have his vision doesn't mean he cannot hear or that he cannot recognize your voice. Chances are, if you spoke to him
twice.
at least twice, he got your voice on lock. He knows exactly who you are. So even if you come around and just say, hey, Alvin, or if you know him well enough to call him Cooley and you say, hey, Cooley, he can probably figure out who you are. So you don't have to keep saying, hey, Alvin, it's such and such. He knows who you are. You do not have to do that. You do not have to do that. And it begins to be, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it begins to be insulting when somebody is yelling in your face every time telling you who they are. Am I right, or is that?
You're right.
Oh,
You're right.
okay.
You're right.
Like he said, you don't have to treat him how you think you should treat him, and you don't have to apologize or feel sorry for him. Like you don't have to do that. I know it's just awkward if you don't know what to do, but treat him like you want to be treated.
But just think of the game like this: if you were deaf and somebody kept coming to you like this, hey, I'm right here, hey, like you can still see.
Right.
So it's just vice versa with me.
Yeah. So like it's his vision. So that means he can still feel stuff. He can still hear very well. He can hear a pin drop. Like he can outdress a bunch of folks just by knowing what material he get ready to put on. He can pick up, like, I don't pick his clothes. I don't do none of that. I don't pick nothing out. He has a good sense of fashion, all that stuff. He does that stuff himself. Like, and people just in your mind, you think because of this he can't do that, and that's so far from the truth. And this is the last point I'm gonna make, because we almost at 20 minutes and I said I don't want to talk this long. Respect, I think, is a good word. Respect, and that's a bonus word because I wasn't gonna even use another word. That's a bonus word.
Okay.
Respect people no matter what. Meaning that even though a person cannot see you, if you enter a room, if I say, hey, babe, such and such just walked in, he will speak. But if he did not speak to you, he's not being rude. He probably didn't know you were in there, but out of respect, it's okay to say, hey, Alvin, how you doing? And I'm pretty sure he's going to address you. Just because he cannot see you doesn't mean you don't have to speak when you come in his presence. If I get to tell him that you're there, he'll speak first. But if he doesn't, at least acknowledge somebody's presence because you know that you're there, even if they don't. So it's not like, don't disrespect somebody and discredit somebody because you don't feel like they are on your level, or you may feel like they're less than a person. My husband is still a man, and a lot of people are still humans. They're still women. They have jobs. My husband go to work just about every day. Like, you treat people like you would want to be treated. We'll go in further. I don't want to talk past our 20 minutes, but that's just a few things. I don't even think we thought we was going to talk this long.
No, but just real quick. Everyone who has spoken to me and didn't really know how to speak to me and all these different things, don't think that I was mad at y'all.
Yeah.
Don't speak to me. I appreciate all the love. It's just change the way you show your love just a little bit. Could you please?
Could you please? Could you please? All right, y'all. We not fussing. We just talking. We trying to give you a better understanding. So now you know. The more you know, the more you grow.
Mm-hmm.
You done? You want to close us out?
Close us out. I think I'm gonna stick with
Keeping on point.
keeping us on point with whoever.
The pointers.
All right, y'all have
Good
a good
night,
night. Have a good day at work.
y'all.